Hi everyone, I'm Valentina, and I'm going to be talking for the next 5-10 minutes about your capstone projects, specifically about the knowledge mobilization implementation and your poster symposium. I have a couple of slides planned out just to talk about some things that I did and things that hopefully you will learn from so that your research projects, I know you guys are coming to the end of it, go even better and super smoothly. So, as I said, my name is Valentina, and I did graduate last year from the Honors Bachelor of Social and Community Development program in the first cohort of students, which was very, very exciting. We were the first ones to do our capstone projects, the research. It was very fun. I'm currently doing my Bachelor of Education, which is just another 2 year degree. So I feel like I did a 2 year diploma, 2 year degree, another 2 year degree, just so I could become a certified teacher in Ontario, which is very exciting. That's why I also cannot come in person, sadly. I have to go to Aurelia, which is up north a bit. So and this is the best that we can do, but I hope everyone is doing well. And to talk about our research project, my topic was how business incubators incorporate equity, diversity, and inclusion into their practice. And I specifically wanted to talk to someone in this business incubator, that was, in touch with all of the, businesses or entrepreneurs that were coming into it. So whether that was, a coordinator, even, a receptionist, just so, someone who was seeing, the criteria that is being met, all the different ones. So I didn't really matter who it was, it didn't matter who it was. I just want to know, what they saw, what they take from it, and talk to them about how it went. So I will be talking a bit about it and then the strategies and all that. For my knowledge mobilization implementation strategy, I worked alongside a peer who did a very similar topic to me. So even though I was working by myself for my research project, he also did something individually, but coming together, which is a great strategy if you are doing something very, very similar, which is what I did with the peer. So we came together and we decided to do a video just because our topic is something that we could both talk about. We both had very open-ended questions that we could relay our final thoughts and our responses in. So we would come together and we created a 4 week plan or however long you have for your the strategy to come to life. So I believe it's about 4 weeks, 3, 4 weeks. So in our first week, we decided to create the script for it. Then for our second week of the time given, we would tweak everything. I think we did meet with Farzana. She reviewed everything. In week 3, we actually recorded it. And then in week 4, we posted it to our LinkedIn's, which I can show in a second. And that is when we created the captions for everything, the hashtag. So that was actually posted then that week. And we chose to post it and do a video on LinkedIn because we knew our audience, which is one of our or my topics up there. And I did that because with our business incubators, again, people are always networking. There's so many different types of businesses that get reached out to. So we decided that that would be the best way to get ours heard and talked about. Even we did so many different hashtags. He did a bit different, I did a bit different, but we would tag each other. So we were able to see the engagement, which was great. I think it was actually my most seen or most engaged with LinkedIn post. So I was very happy about that. And we were able to see different comments. Again, you could see who views your profile. So we did that because, again, with our topic, it made sense to do something similar. If you were maybe doing a topic that maybe is a little more hands-on, or the audience doesn't deal too much with social media, such as maybe older adults, and we just did that because it fit ours. Again, I'm sure whatever you do will make sense, but we just knew that networking, business incubators, business in general, it's very social media, it's very techy now. So that was a reason that we did it, a video on LinkedIn. Here is just my LinkedIn post. So again, I did a small caption just because I didn't want to overwhelm the viewers. I tagged my partner. I clicked it, so that's why it's purple. But if you were watching it, or like if you saw my post, you would be able to click it. It would take you to his profile. And then I did some hashtags. Again, you could do this through AI. Even you could just get like type whatever and something will pop up. So yeah, just the use of hashtags, tagging the partner, and nothing too crazy. So again, they're not overwhelmed. And our video was about 4 or 5 minutes long. So again, just so that people's attention span like doesn't get too short. It was a good, again, key summary of all of our points. For the final poster symposium, it is amazing to see your poster come to life. I know that there are going to be many tweaks that you are going to have to make, but you don't want it to be too cluttered. I actually still have mine at my house. It's in my dining room, and one thing about it is like you're seeing it, and it is probably like a meter long, like maybe I don't know, like a wingspan. I'm not that tall, or so my wingspan is a little short, but it is very like good to see in person, and it's much larger than I thought. And then even the font, like when you're typing it out, it might look really small, but once it is like displayed on the actual poster, it looks much bigger, and you want it to really be like clean and not cluttered. I know I was having a hard time finding like what I can add in or like what I could get rid of, but it definitely does help having it not being overwhelming, especially for your guests that are reading it. They might not want to read every single thing and maybe just key parts. Obviously, still have your important ones, but not having like every single maybe sentence is needed. So definitely your professors will help like tweak it out, and find what could get out of it. But that is definitely one thing I would talk about. Also, with the poster symposium, it will be at the Hazel McCallion campus, which I believe it should be for this cohort of students. So that one to me is very like business like. There's a lot of business classes there. So again, they're maybe used to it, but I thought that it is very important to be professional. Again, still dressing professionally, appearing professionally when you're signing in. There for our cohort, there was our like the Bachelor of Social and Community Development. I believe there was the early childhood education, like leadership one, and I believe there was another program that I forget, but your professors will probably know more than it. So again, you're not just like being with your cohort of students, you are going to be with other individuals there that kind of adds to it. So again, you want to keep having these connections. You never know where it'll take you one day. So that is one thing that I thought like was very fun and exciting because you're not just interacting with like the typical people that you see. You want to display your research findings. You want to tell people, you want to be excited about it. So if you could tell whoever it is, like that's great, and you're going to have so many different people who are probably willing to hear. A key point that I will talk about more in like the next slide is to have key points about your research findings. Just as I was mentioning with like not having your poster too cluttered, is knowing what points to say. But I'll talk about that in a second. I just included a photo above of the final research poster. To the side, it's all of us, so that will be you guys celebrating all of your hard work. And then to the side is Farzana, as she was my professor throughout, and then she also was the research supervisor. So big thanks to her as well. And again, just celebrate your hard work while before it ends. So, just my key tips. So, the first one is to know the right way to mobilize your research. So, again, myself and my peer that I worked with, we did it through LinkedIn because we thought that that would get the most engagement, which I believe it did, to be honest. Compared to if we were handing something out in person or sending emails, I do think that this was a great way. Everyone's on their phones. You could access LinkedIn on your laptop, your phone, you could do it anyway. To me, I think it was the best. So having like a good idea on how to mobilize your research. So again, knowing your audience that relates to it. Then my second point is to have key and or talking points about your posters. So what I mean by this is I think the first like couple of people that came into like the room that we were in or like the hallway that you might be in, I was probably talking about like every single thing that I had listed. So, like my research methods, the responses, I think like every single, I think there's about six of the like findings or the topics. I think I talked about every single thing. And, you're going to get out of breath talking about that. They might be overwhelmed, especially if they don't know too much about your topic or they're not too interested. Hopefully, they are. But it's good to, maybe if you have like one key point or you're able to summarize it. So I think having like a 1 minute elevator pitch is a good idea to have, just so again, like they could read as you're talking about it. They're not being overwhelmed with anything. It's okay for them to like, ask a question after because you are like the expert of your own research. But just so you're not like reading off of it and you obviously know what to say about it, that is definitely something that I would have just so that you're not running out of breath. Like, yes, you can have your water beside you, but also so the person that you're talking to isn't getting overwhelmed and bombarded with all this information. And the last point is to practice professionalism, even though I'm sure everyone already is. Again, you're going to be seeing so many different people and different students from the different programs, even just students that are on the campus in general. So making sure to like put your most professional self out there. It is also very exciting to see like and celebrate your final research project. So again, knowing that's coming to an end, you've worked so hard about it. So I would definitely just practice that as well. Again, I know everyone already is, but that is like those are three of the key tips that I would give people. Thanks so much, everyone, for listening to this video. Good luck with all of your capstone projects and your mobilization strategies. I'm hoping to see some on LinkedIn. You can add me on it. I'm always looking forward to seeing things. I'm also hopefully going to come to your capstone project, so I would love to hear more about them, hopefully in person as well. Good luck with everything and have a good night.